Snow days are for wimps.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. When we had the 6 feet of snow, I still went to work. I don't think you're exaggerating when you say 6 feet. You're not exaggerating. No, it was Christmas of 2017. We got 6 feet of snow in 24 hours. Wow. Most of the city was at a standstill. I went to the gym and it wasn't even open. I made it to like once, and there was like nobody there, and there wasn't a lot of stuff out.
So you woke up and then it was just up to here.
Well, we watched it fall throughout the day on Christmas. It started Christmas Eve, and then it fell through the entire day.
Yeah.
And yeah, we ended up with legitimately, I think it was like 5, 6 feet in 24 hours. It was,
And the whole city shut down?
no, for the first day, there were some things that were shut down, but by the next day, people were out and about again.
They know how to plow the streets here.
Oh,
They
I
are
know.
good with that.
They just plow right through it.
There's equipment, there's plows.
No, I know that. I know. I mean, that's what
What's the advantage of living in an area that does tend to get a lot of snow is that the city responds to it well.
Yeah, unlike what happened in Texas that one time recently.
You mean when they shut down that electricity and all that?
Yeah, I think they had a bunch of snow for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that because my kid was living there.
I'm in Pittsburgh, there's a terrible problem with snow. I was in Pittsburgh.
Well, how would you like to plow those streets? How would you like to plow those streets in Pittsburgh?
They do a terrible job blocking the interstate. I mean, it's not, I get the hills, the narrow streets and the cobblestones, I get that to be a challenge, but
Well, this year in Cleveland, when I was going to work, on a Tuesday morning, we had like about 3 feet overnight. It was the one substantial snowfall we had this whole past winter. And I'm getting out there first thing in the morning before the plows go out. So that was fun.
One time I was visiting my sister, Seattle got a dusting and the entire city shut down.
Really?
Like maybe an inch. And like nobody would go anywhere.
That would be Atlanta for sure.
Yes. Oh, I know. I don't know what's wrong with us.
So it doesn't snow much in Seattle.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't usually get that cold. We get a ton of rain. But their winter is usually a rainy season, not a snow season. Because I remember I flew out shortly after the snow had fallen.
Yeah.
And my sister refused to drive because it's very hilly there. So she had her boyfriend take me to the train to go to the airport, and she had me leave. I had like a 10 o'clock flight. She had me leaving at like 6 o'clock in the morning to catch the train. Because she was so paranoid about the snow. And I was like, you're being ridiculous. And she's like, yeah, I can't handle snow. And I'm like, yes, the cars are equipped to handle snow. Like this is, it's not as big as the catastrophe you think it is. And she's from Chicago too. So it's just amazing the perspective, the difference in perspective you get depending on where you're living.
Yeah.
In Washington, D.C., I remember we had Snowmageddon, 12 inches. Now, that was just absolutely brutal. People were leaving their cars abandoned along I-270.
We know all about that. We made the news. About 10 years.
Okay, so it is now 6:15, so I would ask if everybody could put their personal devices to silent or something that will not do it. One of the more unnerving experiences I ever had as a service leader in the military during my final years is that these things were just starting to make their appearance on people's pockets. And as I was getting to Tefillah, somebody had a ringtone was AC/DC's Highway to Hell. So that is not what I call, Maktik. It isn't. Okay, I'd like to set the tone for tonight. We have a lot of stuff going on in the world, most of it not particularly good, but if you look hard enough, you will find things that give you hope. Does everybody know what the Muslim fasting day of Ashura is? No, I didn't think you did. Okay. being that I work with a lot of Muslim physicians and nurses and whatever, I've kind of grown used to their calendar. Ashura occurs on the first day of the ninth month of the Muslim year. And in the Shia tradition, it has a lot to do with self-sacrifice and whatever. But in the Sunni tradition, they talk about things like the Israelites crossing the Red Sea, getting safely to the other side, the persecution of Pharaoh, Noah in the ark, and Adam actually being forgiven by God, which is not obviously in Torah, but it's in Muslim tradition. So I sent this to Habib, one of my former residents, now a colleague of mine, and he said, he's Shia, so he didn't know about the Sunni stuff. He said, really? And I said, yeah. And then he answers me, who would have thunk? We're cousins. He knows that. Habib's mensch. I've told him that. Okay, we'll start off tonight with an opening song, and we will do Hine Matov. Tov manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Page 9. At the top, responsively by paragraph. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. So, we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. I invite to the Bima Pam and her sister, Eileen, is it? Anita. Let's sit close. Yes, please.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Okay. Ranina 12. Na lehuna ranina ladonai, lehuna ranina, lehuna ranina, lehuna ranina ladonai. Naria letzur yishenu nikadamat v'leverda. Naria letzur yishenu bizmirot naria lo. Lechuna ranina, Lechuneranina ladonoi. Lechuneranina, lechuneranina, lechuneranina ladonoi. We continue on page 20 with Lecha Dodi. We will be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On verse 9, we will stand up, rise, and face the Shabbat bride as she walks in. Okay. Dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 ne Shabbat ne kabela lekadodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 ne Shabbat ne kabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'hithilah Lecha Dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh bak machavash tila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Hitoreri, Kiva oe kukumi uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alai tila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabela boi v'shalom ritbala gam b'simcha uv'nitzachala Tokemune am segula boichala lecha dodi likrat ka yadadai 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 Panei Shabbat nikabela. Please be seated. We live in Erie, Pennsylvania. We were talking about snow. We always talk about snow. But one thing we don't talk a lot about are our sunsets, which are absolutely world class. Have you ever noticed if you have a sunset where the air is absolutely dry and that you have a crisp horizon without a haze layer, and that you can go, you know that the sun is setting, you know it's setting, you know it's setting, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, it's gone. Unlike when you have a haze layer where it kind of lingers for a while. So when I think of Shalom Aleichem, I'm thinking of that moment when we have that beautiful crisp horizon, the sun is setting and that you just feel the descent. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, Nakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom. Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bottom of page 25. Vikatz Yaakov, Mishnato Vayomer Achen, Yesh Adonai Bamakom, Hazeh Va'anochi Lo Yidati. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, truly Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it. Hatzi Kaddish on page 26, please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlik malchutei b'chayechonu v'yomechon Uchayedech kol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Vimaru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarak, Yitbarak V'yishtabak, V'yitpar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Kudusha, Brechu, Leila, Min Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiran Be'olma, V'maru, Amen. Please remain standing for the Baruch. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. To continue with the sunset metaphor, you read, the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer. You don't need to know a word of Hebrew just because it goes, it feels. You don't need to know a word of it. Talking about rolling darkness away from light, light away from darkness. It just goes. Let's do this together in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokma poteach sha'arim, udvifana meshenei itim, umakalif et chazmanim, umkasder et hakokavim, b'mishmerotechem barkia kiritzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshek, v'choshek mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayan tamid yamloch aleinu le'amon v'ayed, Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Page 32, Ahavat Olam. Ad olam be'Yisrael Amecha v'ta Amcha v'ta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Tanu limadeta Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shakbenu Uvkumenu nasiyak bechukecha V'nizmak b'divrei Toratecha Uvmitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem hayenu V'yorek yameinu Uva'nig v'layla Nege yomam v'layla V'avtal tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. Please rise for the Shema. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Leolam Vaed. Page 36, please be seated. Hafta et Adonai Elohecha Be'olecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha Ayom alevovecha V'nishtinatam levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shivtecha bevetecha Uvlechtecha vaderech Ushachbecha uvkumecha Uchadom leot ayadecha V'hayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha Uvisharecha Leman tiskaru vasitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kiddushim lelohehem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 38. Emet v'umana kol zot v'kayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu v'ein zulatu v'anachnu Yisrael amo. Hapodenu miyad malachim malkeinu hago aleinu mikol kaf ha'aradsim ha'ose gedolot ad ein cheker. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles before us before Pharaoh. Signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
Page 40.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. V'ne'amar kifar Adonai et Yaakov v'galo meyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Ya'al Yisrael. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. As we move through the service here, we've crossed the Red Sea, and now we're joyous. The adrenaline is starting to die down and say, holy crap, what just happened? And now we start to give thanks that we can lie down in peace on the other side and no longer be pursued.
Hashkivenu, page 42.
Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'shalom v'halideinu shamreinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Amen. Together, middle of page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter, into the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread for us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. So we said, we've made it. We're grateful. And then what happens? Every service, whether it's a weekday service or a Shabbat service, is kind of a retelling of our history as a people. So what happens after this? I know we get lost for 40 years, but because we didn't ask Miriam for directions. But what we do is we have the revelation at Sinai, the giving of Torah. So I'd like to do Yismechu. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Mekadashei, Mekadashei Shevi Shabbat, Kulam Yismechu, V'titangu B'tuvecha Shabbat, Yismechu V'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat, Ve'rachvi ratzitabo, ratzitabo fikidash to Shabbat, chemdat yamim, oto karata Shabbat, yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei omneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat korei oneg Shabbat Zecher namaseh Naaseh Bereshit Shabbat Zecher Lemaseh Bereshit Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. In the development of synagogue liturgy, you can think of the tefillah, the central part of the prayer, Amida, meaning the standing prayer, Shemona Esrei, 18 blessings, actually 19 for daytime worship and the weekdays. But this was the basic central prayer that they had in ancient times at the Temple Mount. And what happened over the years, we had things added to it, added to it, added to it, added to it, and you now have the liturgy that we know today. And if you go through any kind of Orthodox prayer book, you will see just how much stuff has been added, believe you me. So we will do the tefillah here. We start on page 46, we continue on 48, and continue on page 50. Please rise for the tefillah. Noi sefetai tiftaku via gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur V'Hanara, Elohim, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Akol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot V'imaot, Umevi Geulah Lifnei Fneihem, Melech Ozer, Moshiach Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mikayei HaKol atah Rav Hoshea, Morid Hatah, Kel Chaim Bechesed, Mikayei HaKol Rachamim Rabim, Somek Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umikayim Emunato, Bishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umimelach, Melech Mimi to Mechaye, Umatzmi Yeshua, B'neiman Atala Kakayot Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol, Atah Kadosh Ushim Kakadosh, Yoshim V'kol Yom Ya'aluk Haselah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Middle of page 54. The Kadesh HaYom is one of the blessings of the Amida that's there all days of the week. And in Shabbat liturgy, we go from 19 down to, count them. Yeah, 7. Yeah, I'm really good about that sort of stuff. We go down to 7, so we pare it down because we're not asking for anything on Shabbat. We're just trying to be thankful for the way the world is. So right here, towards the bottom of page 54, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu oritzei v'imlimchatenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chalkenu b'torachecha sabenu mituvecha v'samchenu b'yeshuatecha v'taher libenu liavtecha be'emet. Together, please, at the bottom of page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Page 55, middle, responsively by paragraph. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. I've loved that. Just because, don't be complacent. Shabbat is a time to regroup, but we have to remember what we're here for. We'll continue on page 58. Top. Modim anaknivlach sha'atu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu li'olam va'ed sur chayinu magen yishenu atahu lador vador. Top of 59 together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, a light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha ne'eh lahadot. We cheat. Now, I'm not going through the confession, the vidui, blah, 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 but we cheat on Shabbat liturgy because we do ask for one thing. We ask for peace. That's what we're about to do. Page 60, Shalom Rav. Tasim le'olam shatahu melech Adon lechol ha'shalom v'tov beinecha livarek et amcha Yisrael lechol leitu v'chol shah bishlomecha. Grant us peace, your most eternal gift or eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, v'shalom. Top of page 62. Whenever I'm leading, I always like to include this because it's a part of the Amida that is generally forgotten. Fine, the world has maybe not treated us particularly well, but what have we done? Are we guiltless? Have we done things, said things, performed acts that either willingly or knowingly kind of irked people? Top of 62. Elohai netzor l'shani me'ra, u'sefatai medaber merma, v'lim kalalai nafshi tidam v'nafshi ke'afar v'kol tiyeh. Together in the middle of page 62. My God, guard my speech from evil and my lips from deception. Before those who slander me, I will hold my tongue. I will practice humility. Open my heart to your Torah, that I may pursue your mitzvot. As for all that think evil of me, cancel their designs and frustrate their schemes. Act for your own sake, for the sake of your power, for the sake of your holiness, for the sake of your Torah, so that your loved ones may be rescued, saved with our power. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. V'maru, v'maru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Let's move to page 253. At this point in the service, and there's a Torah reading, you have Mishaberachs if you've ever been to conservative or Orthodox services. You have more Mishaberachs than you have Carter's Little Liver Pills. Now, in Reform liturgy, we usually have it for people who are coming to read the Torah, and then we have as prayers for healing in every daytime service and every nighttime service. Top of page 253. Mishaberach Avotenu V'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yavarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Tonight I would like to bring the names of our congregational family who are in need of healing and comfort. James Chavez, Jan Mandel, Mikhail Chervatsky, Ross McCullough, Diane Kaler, Rabbi Blad Bliefeld, Irv Willis, Isabella Bostwick, Stephanie Willis, Ella Kobos, April Wortman, Carol Lou Eisenhart, Carol Ford, Eric Shibetta, Doug Bettner, Stan Berlin, Erica Berlin, Sandy Wolf, and Amy Vidmar. If any of you who are streaming this service tonight want to add a name to the Mishaberach list, please do so in the chat and send it to us. For those that are with us in the Kehillah tonight, please add any additional names as Maya has made yours.
Debbie Canavino, Mary Claudio, Igor Bertman.
Thank you.
Roxy Rise
Thank you. Thank you. Rak Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov, Misha Berak Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel, others. May the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, prayer, hear our prayer, prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding, strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berak Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov. Misha Berak Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, our prayer. Hear our prayer, hear, and bless us as well. When I was running at the peninsula this morning, I said to myself, I'm supposed to be over this COVID thing. I tested negative, and then I noticed something. Ragweed is in bloom. So the old saying is, and you say to God, dear God, why me? And God says, why the hell not? So tonight we're going to talk about Parshat Balak. As I'm looking over my files that I've kept over the years for Devar Torahs, this is the 6th time I've had the joy of doing this. You know, last year I had my 2 grandkids on the Bima with me for a little bit of Tanakh theater. That was kind of fun. But they are right now in Seattle, so I couldn't rope them into doing it this year. But let's talk about talking animals. For those of us a certain age, what is a talking animal that comes to mind? Okay, you know, Glot Catholic kid on the east side of Cleveland, what was the animal that comes to mind? Mr. Ed, absolutely. A horse is a horse, of course, blah, 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 blah. Now, for those of us a certain age, I know it's embarrassing, but hey, we deal with it. But we're going to talk about Parshat Balak. I want to give you a brief summary here. Balak refers to Balak, king of Moab, and is found in Bamidbar chapter 22. Balak, king of Moab, together with the elders of Midian, summons the prophet Balaam to curse the Israelites because he was fearful of them crossing through his kingdom. Basically, he sees a large number of people coming, and he says, uh-oh, I got a problem. Now, the Israelites just wanted to cross through. They didn't want to conquer anything, but hey, he was paranoid. On the way to curse them, Balaam is berated by his donkey, who sees before Balaam does that the angel that God has sent to block their way with a flaming sword. The angel instructs Balaam to say only what God tells him to say rather than curse the Israelites. Well, I'll tell you, if you had an angel with a flaming sword, you would be pretty much probably convinced to do that. 3 times from 3 different vantage points, offering ever-increasing fame and fortune to the prophet, to curse the Israelites, and then finally overlooking the encampment of the Israelites, each time the blessings issue force instead of Balaam rather than curses. So, what's this all about talking animals? Seeing angels with swords, talking to God, reality, or was it something else? Examples of talking animals in the literature of the ancient Near East. It's always fun when you learn about stuff like this. Talking animals in Tanakh. Okay, we've got this one, and what is the other one? Yeah, the serpent, okay. I like the hand stuff, you know. So you have the serpent, which, by the way, was not necessarily associated with Satan or evil until much, much later into the Mishnaic period, but that's a whole different story. In ancient Egypt, there was a tale of the shipwrecked sailor in which the narrator, stranded on an island, is aided by a large snake who prophetically assures him that he will reach home soon again and assists him to do it. When you go into ancient Sumerian legends, which when you're talking about early stuff being written for Tanakh, there's going to be an overlap here. Written down in the 3rd millennium BCE, Sumerian proverbs and fables had an oral tradition. Animals that speak and act like human beings. There were stories of these animals conveying messages and showing behavior to be emulated or shunned. In other words, the animal is saying, hey people, watch me. Do as I tell you to. In Islam, there's only a handful of times that animals speak in the Quran, and most of these occurrences happen in relation to Solomon, the things I learned. For example, it is a hoopoe. Everybody know what a hoopoe is? It's one of those birds in the Middle East. It's kind of cool. I've actually seen them when I was in the Middle East. That tells King Solomon of Queen Sheba's idolatrous ways. This is obviously from an epoch far later in history than when Tanakh was redacted. So, spotlight on donkeys. They were ubiquitous in the Near East, were and still are the ultimate beast of burden. They work hard, have relatively minimal food and water requirements. They're highly intelligent, social, and very protective of their social groups, be those social groups animal or human. Please remember this last point, that of being protective of their social group. So, we cruise through Parshat Balak, and he gets to the point where he's starting to see an angel of death, and the donkey's saying, I'm not going there. I'm not moving. So Balaam says to the ass, you have made a mockery of me. If I had a sword with me, I'd kill you. Biblical Hebrew is a very terse, simplistic language. However, there is an exception here. V'tomer ha'aton el Bilam. Halo anochi atoncha asher rachavta alai me'od acha. Ad hayom hazeh ha'haskein ti le'osot lecha kol vayomer lo. Okay, so the donkey's saying to Balaam, hey, I'm the donkey that you've been riding all along until this day. Have I been in the habit of doing this to you? So obviously a departure in behavior from this very, very loyal donkey. So at this point, of course, the prophet's eyes are unshielded, and he sees the angel of death and goes, holy crap. So now what do we do? What is the role of Balaam's donkey? Seeing what Balaam can't see or has chosen not to see? Protecting his master from the angel with the sword through passive resistance, thereby getting Balaam's attention, and when he sees the angel with the sword is awed and complies. Is Balaam's talking donkey a variant of things that were circulating in ancient Babylon, Sumeria, or Assyria? Specialty scholars know that answer, but I sure as heck don't. You wouldn't believe the literature that I found on this. So what about Balaam, the rest of the story? After his mission with Balaam to curse the Israelites failed, Balak decided to ally with the Midianites to gather their women in order to lead the Israelite men astray in adultery. The honey trap. He succeeded grandly. This episode did not end well for quite a few Israelite men, and specifically a plague was called down. So, meaning, this is the same Balaam that wouldn't curse the Israelites? So what's going on here? Did Balaam revert to his evil ways, or did he earlier obey God completely out of fear only for his own enlightened self-interest? What was the ultimate fate? In the book of Numbers, chapter 31, and they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam, also the son of Peor, they slew with the sword. So he got his. What about Balak? The Zohar, one of the fundamental texts texts of Kabbalism talks about Balak being the son of Zippor. Zippor means bird, but according to the Zohar, this was not the name of Balak's father, but referred to a magical metal bird which had wings of copper mixed with gold and silver that he wore when he was doing his prophesying. So I never knew that. The Zohar further recounts that the bird spoke true words of prophecy into Balak's ear and warned him not to set himself against the sons of Israel, or else. So, my glad Catholic father, Frank Vidmar, so what should I do? So what should I care, right? So, Dad, I think this is, you can get down to 2 points here. Do not do the right thing for the wrong reasons. Do the right thing for the right reasons. Number 2, some animals are a lot smarter than their human masters. So, just some points to think about. I'd never really thought about this before. We continue on page 282. Please rise for the Alena. On hakol, take the duvalu tzer breshi, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, vilo samanu kimishbekot hadoma, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kichol hamonam, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim. Melech Malkei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz Umoshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Mimavlo Ushkinatu Zo B'Gavhei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Yemet Malkeinu Efesulato Kakatu Betorato V'yadatayom V'yashivodka Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Bashamayim imal v'al haaretz mitachat enod Ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol haaretz nayom hahu Yom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. Please be seated. Page 291. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם ארצם עבדו ואינם. There are stars up above. So far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the stars, the lights that guide us. As we live our days, there are the ways we remember. This week we have the passing of Sandy Wolf, the mother of Margot Wolf and mother-in-law of Brad Ford. This just came in this afternoon. We also had the passing of Wendy Sherman, mother of Leslie Sherman and David Sherman. Calling hours will be at 4 to 6 p.m. Sunday at the main Burton location on West 10th Street. This week, we also commemorate the art sites of Francis Eisenberg, Emma Marx, Sylvia Galinsky, Charles Goldschmidt, Emmis Meyerhoff, Robert Lechner, Lazarus Schuster, Hans Nathan, Julia Rosen, Philip Elfenbeim, Cecilia Kleeman, Constance Stanbro, Hy Levin, Coleman Perel, Rosalie Small, Abram Saver, and Florence Charters. If there are any in the Kahila online who want to submit a name, please do so in the chat. For those in the Kahila here live tonight, if you have any names you would like to add. Karen Vidmar Crow. Please rise for the Kaddish on page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malakute b'chayechon uvyomechon v'chaye dekol beit Israel ba'agala uvizman kariv v'maru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarak le'olam olamei almaya Yit barak v'ishtabak v'yit pa'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh Tadar v'yatale v'yatalal Shemei dekusha brechu le'it bin kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'maru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen Osei shalom b'mramav huya say shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'maru amen Zikronam levracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated. Announcements?
Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Dennis, Jesse. Services this evening are in memory of Hans Nathan. Rabbi asked me to mention to everyone as a bit of reassurance. When you came in, you saw that shattered window out there. That had wasn't nefarious circumstances that caused that. The door was not locking. We called someone in to repair it. The repairman was working on it, and he turned screw just a little too tight, and that's what happened. Yes, and so Rabbi felt that was important, so that's done. So as Dennis had said, Wendy Sherman has passed, and the family, at the request of the family, the funeral service is going to be private, but there is going to be calling hours, as Dennis said, this coming Sunday at 4 to 6 p.m. at Burton Funeral Home on West 10th Street. And as far as details and arrangements for Sandy Wolf, Margot Wolf's mother, those will be announced in the next few days. Coming up next week, is Monday, as a matter of fact, at 7:30, the Book of Ruth Club meets, and the club is doing something a little bit different. They are starting a special series featuring banned books. And they're going to have a special speaker at Monday's meeting, and she's going to be Amy Emerson, immediate past president for the Pennsylvania School Librarian Association, and Amy will speak about her experiences with banned books. And once again, that's Monday, July 22nd, 7:30 p.m., via the Zoom link that is in your Thursday emails and the temple topics also, I believe. Let's see. Summer Shabbats, yes. Now, what was supposed to be in Meadville next week has been changed. All of our congregants, or pretty much all of our congregants that live in Meadville, are not going to be around next week. And so we changed it to September 23rd, or August 23rd, I'm sorry, August 23rd, yes. So August 23rd is going to be Shabbat at Meadville. Please RSVP on the website calendar or through your weekly emails. And then before that, on August 2nd, we are going to be having Shabbat at Presque Isle Cabin Number 1 at Waterworks. And once again, RSVP through your weekly emails, or this one says by calling the temple office. Okay, and I think that is it. Once again, thank you.
Have any of you ever been to those cabins? You know, I've had worse barracks, but not many in my life. The point to be taken is that there's a fair bit of flying insects in and around there, so please bring your bug repellent because you will need it. Okay. So we will complete, excuse me, we will finish tonight on page, what is that? The thing that inspired me here was that Oda Yavo Shalom Aleinu is where I work, I am a minority. And I don't mean just Jew, but I mean Caucasian male. You know, I'm really unusual. You know, they look at me and say, are you the token white guy? No. The point is that we get along, we're colleagues, we work well together, and I work with a lot of Muslim men and women. And I have done my best to be an ambassador, and it has generally worked. Shalom Aleinu, Oyavo Shalom Aleinu, Oyavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Oyavo Shalom Aleinu, Oyavo Shalom Aleinu, Oyavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam, Alkeinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. We'll bless the wine here on page 4. Hagafen, Baruch atah Adonai, Heinu melech olam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho, b'ahava uvratzon, chinkilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, Kehu yom tahila lamikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu vacharta v'tanu kidashta mikol amim V'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon chinkaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. It doesn't taste like aluminum cans. I'm clearly over COVID. Oh, it was awful. Okay, 4. Julie? Thank you. Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give Amen. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai lekolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for coming tonight.